All right, so I just got the Black Friday game just passed. Jets lost again. I honestly think they're a complete mess of a team. Like it's real bad. So if we take it from the top, Jets has been one of the worst organizations in history. Haven't made a playoff game since 2013, I think. Terrible drafting. I mean, they took Mark Sanchez, but even if you'd say Sanchez is bad, it's not even the beginning of it. Fun fact, do you know that one first round mock idiot that keeps parading around Twitter? He was a former Jet scout, and he's also just as bad as a scout now. Like, it's ridiculous how dumb he is. It's bad. But, anyways, just looking at the top of the organization, all of it's just terrible. And even this year, what they've been doing just doesn't make sense. Like, sure, you sell your soul for Aaron Rodgers. You get him his offensive coordinator. You get him some of his favorite targets, and you build his roster, right? You build a roster how he wants it, and now you're ready to go. You're ready to compete in the AFC East, and then first play because you play on a terrible field like MetLife Stadium is horrible. You play on a terrible field, and you don't invest in your offensive line. Now Aaron Rodgers is down, so you go with Zach Wilson. You somehow win that game, but in classic Jets incompetence, they somehow stick with the offense that they know Zach Wilson can't run. They know he doesn't know how to run. It's so predictable. It's so bad. Doesn't utilize his talents at all. And I think Zach Wilson is. I don't think Zach Wilson is good. But you can make a mediocre QB. I don't think he's bad. He's definitely not a top 2 pick. Like let's not get twisted. He can be a mediocre QB at the mid level, a terrible QB at worst as you've seen, and I think he can be a Kirk Cousins talent, like not like talent wise, but with Kirk Cousins production, but with a slightly higher talent, because for as mid of a prospect as Kirk Cousins is, he's actually a good quarterback. So, I mean, you have Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson, but that's what you're supposed to do as a team. There's only one quarterback in the league, and even then, he's having struggles as well. There's only one quarterback in the league that can do it all by himself. I said Mahomes isn't even the top seed in the AFC anymore. Granted, I think that will change in a couple of weeks, but if it doesn't, then we need to have a genuine conversation about what's going to front offices that don't know what they're doing. So yeah, Zach Wilson plays in this terrible, predictable, stupid offense that only Aaron Rodgers can run. And we've seen Nathaniel Hackett as an OC and as another coach, as someone who just can't get it together when it's not Aaron Rodgers under center. I don't know if you didn't hear me, but essentially, like if Aaron Rodgers is not under center, Hackett doesn't know what he's doing. So you throw Zach Wilson, who's already been put to the fire and has almost everything about him sniped down, and he's getting thrown under the bus even more. And I think what they tried to do was genuinely a genius thing. Have Rodgers did what he did with Favre and what he did with Love, and sit behind him. And you can see it in Jordan Love when he tried to. Like Jordan Love is a good quarterback. Like he had some struggles, but he has the talent. He's gonna do good in this league. I'm not gonna lie and say Jordan Love isn't good. And I think that Zach Wilson under Aaron Rodgers' tutelage can be good as well. But the issue is that the Jets front office did the one thing. They did plan B before they did plan A. Because in the NFL, plan A is get a good offensive line and a good talented roster. They only They half did plan A. Because sure, you have Garrett Wilson and I think Elijah Moore and Alan Lazard. I don't know what to say about Alan Lazard. He's all right. But everything else just doesn't work. They're a Super Bowl contender with a good offensive line, by the way. Like, their defense is one of the best defenses in the league. Of course, they're getting torched now because they can't score for anything. So, this extra possessions, you're eventually going to get cooked. So, yeah, at the end of the day, the Jets are just a stupid franchise. And hopefully Aaron Rodgers can come back and maybe turn this thing around. But they've totally messed up Zach Wilson for even as bad of a first-round talent as he is. Give him to somebody else who knows what they're doing, someone who's competent, and I think he'll be good in the league. Not great. Probably not even a guy who's going to take you far in the playoffs, but he'll be a good talent in the league. Thanks for listening.